Yeah, we're in the business of getting better. Yeah, this is a marathon, and you have to just keep improving. We've had a great season to date, but it's not finished. There's still so much work to do.
I had to have a few tough ones with them about where they saw themselves as leaders, and they accepted it. No one blinked, and I think that says a lot about them. They didn't know quite how to go about it at that point in time, but they've learned how to do that over this last little while, and we'll just be stronger for the experience that we had. It was tough to get through. We're not at the end of it, but we're certainly getting plenty of rewards at the moment, which is pleasing to see.
There you have it, Michael Voss. Strong conversation 6 weeks ago, and look what happened. 6 in a row, knocking off the Pies on Friday night, 17 points. And Joey, I've got to give you a pat in the back. I haven't done it all year, but this is your first one. You've been on this for weeks now about the blueprint for the Pies. And I have to give you some credit because sides are really going with it.
Well, I think the blueprint's just starting to turn into a bit of a trend now. And it's been since about round 13 that teams are now working out if you can get the ball in your forward half and lock it in, you're getting a real opportunity against the Pies. And on the weekend, Carlton were able to do that through their ground ball and their clearance. They were dominant in that facet of the game. And this was a greater strength of Collingwood early in the year. They used to outnumber Kingy. We went on about this for the first 6 or 8 weeks of the year. Collingwood outnumbering and being able to win all these ground balls. But at the moment, it's been something that's just been dripping away for a long time, and we'll have a look in a minute. But Carlton were able to really get a hold of all these critical balls through the middle of the ground and be able to give themselves good looks and put Collingwood on the back foot, really, going the other way and having to try and transition from their defensive half, particularly in the first half in this game when Carlton set up their win. They're able to have 10 more inside 50s. It spent over more than 8 minutes in their forward half, Carlton. And just there's some issues with Collingwood maybe just getting ahead of the ball or not quite joining in as much as they were earlier in the season. And the Blues, it is their asset. It is their one wood that they have been able to now get back in their game that has led to their 6-game winning streak. And I just thought it stood out in this contest how much more Carlton were able to win these critical contests with their outnumber and their hunt and their desire. So it's just something that I think Craig McRae and Collingwood, if they want to win this flag, they need to take a look at because they were out-hunted. Out-hunted clearly. They weren't as tough as Carlton in this game. And as I said, it's been a trend that is now occurring over a number of weeks. And Carlton were able to make them pay and get the ball inside 50. And when you take a look at a minute, since round 10, this has become an issue, Kingy, because these numbers are stark. So the reason why they are so stark, rounds 1 to 9, Collingwood were number 1 in the competition for ground balls in their midfield. They are now the worst team in the competition over the last 10 weeks. The clearance differential, they were top 5 for those first 9 weeks. They were winning clearance, playing the game in their front half. Now, that's 14th in the competition. And the time in half, as I said, they were 4th in the competition over 9 weeks. That has dropped to 13th. Like, these are alarming numbers that's been a gradual decline for weeks now, and it's starting to get exposed. And I think really they've been outplayed in 4 of their last 7 games. When you take into consideration the Port Adelaide and Adelaide games, Collingwood too good, found a way to win, and we've given them all the credit. But it's something they're going to need to address if they want to get back into it, because as they continue to play these strong teams that are great at contest and clearance, like the Melbournes and Brisbanes and Port Adelaide again, potentially, they need to fix it.
And now the microscope comes on a lot of players, Kingy, around whether, they're playing their role. And Fly said a couple of weeks ago, there's pressure on spots. How have you assessed Dan McStay's?
Yeah, this is what we see it different, don't we? I agree with all of that, and there's scope for improvement. But the biggest wins from a Collingwood point of view on Friday night was this guy franking what he is to his teammates. Put it forward, give me a chance to run and jump, and I will deliver. They'll make change in the forward half. I've got no doubt they'll go smaller. I think Jordan De Goey will play a bit more forward, and I think that their ground ball game will improve when they get Jeremy Howe up the field further. Howe went forward in the last quarter and kicked 3 goals. Now, that's what they needed. They haven't got that from a Mason Cox or a Frampton or one of those guys. So now I think 2 big wins structurally for McRae come with this, how move forward. And OK, they've got some work to do, but they're still top of the table.
Yeah.
They're still where they are for a reason. They're good enough. OK, they've lost a little bit of form and there are some reasons for that, but they're aware of this. I just think how going forward is a wild card the competition hadn't seen coming. I think he'll end up on a wing or a high half forward type area, sliding forward. He's everything to them. He's a beautiful kick. He'll set them up forward to centre. I'm actually more excited about what I saw on Friday night in a loss than what I had in some of those meandering games that you talked about the previous 4 to 5 weeks.
You know what I love about you, Kingy? You come on, and when you fall in love with a player, you give them a whack. So Nick Dacos has had 19 weeks of praise. What did you see on Friday night that you...
Noble long ball. Kemp gets a good run at it. Bit of a juggler. Dacos and Elliott. Dacos around the corner, touched right on the line, I would think. Hasn't been his best night by foot tonight, Nick Dacos, has it? Effectively. Oh, that is a ripper. Here is Taylor Adams. Shoots out the handball to Dacos. Takes McGovern on, gets around the corner, goes for the around the corner kick, and he's straight it across the face. And gets the cheers from the crowd here.
Well, let's be honest. You got to choose to. If you want to win the Brownlow, you'll probably win the Brownlow. And if you want to win a premiership, you could win a premiership. But if you're going to go down this path of burning your teammates, things will dry up very quickly for you. That's a give every day of the week to Jamie Elliott, and he's a quality finisher. This one here, he knows exactly what's around him. Every moment, he burns number one, top right of screen. He burns DeGoey with a little chip pass. He burns Howe on the lead. And then he resets and goes again. He burns McCreery at the top of the goal square, and they're not happy about it. And he knows. You can tell by the look on his face that he knows exactly what he's done to 4 of his teammates. So I just say it plain and simple. Work out what you want to do. Do you want to have individual success or team success? Because you're that important to this team. You could fracture the whole thing in a heartbeat with this sort of selfish play. It's as simple as that.
Yep. Well, the message out of this, don't upset King, all right, Joey? Out of this one.